The Wonderful 101 is a Platinum Games and Nintendo collaboration project that was released in 2013 for the Wii U, with a remastered version for PC, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch releasing 7 years later in 2020. It was directed by Hideki Kamiya, and to some viewers familiar with him, this game, especially its poster boy Wonder Red, may look like Beautiful Joe, a Henshin Hero-inspired action game that Kamiya directed over at Capcom. Well, I think that makes sense, since Bayonetta was a spiritual successor to Devil May Cry, so why not his next big project be a spiritual successor aesthetically to Beautiful Joe? The Wonderful 101 is more Super Sentai compared to Beautiful Joe's more direct Kamen Rider influence. However, Henshin Heroes wasn't going to be the theme for this game initially, as while prototyping for the Wii U, the game was originally conceived as a Smash Bros. Spin-off with over 100 Nintendo characters in the game, but that idea got scrapped, and probably for the best. I mean, I love Smash Bros., but I think it's wiser to keep it to a platform fighter than try to expand the crossover concept to other genres, so the crossover doesn't overstay its welcome. As for the game we did get, the Wonderful 101's premise is pretty much an archetypical Super Sentai plot. Evil aliens from space called Gefjerk are on their third attempt to take over the world, so it's up to the Wonderful 100 to stop them. The Wonderful 100 are a team of 100 heroes from all over the world, but for our main ones we focus on for gameplay, there's the firm believer of justice and wordy poet Wonder Red, the wannabe suave fellow Wonder Blue, the guy who just eats a lot and is French, Wonder Green, the self-absorbed yet caring fashionista Wonder Pink, the Russian hammer bro Wonder Yellow, the calm ninja in training Wonder White, and the gaming prodigy Wonder Black. These characters' quirks are taken to the extreme, being a funny pastiche of typical Sentai tropes, while still earnestly indulging in them. For example, Wonder Red and Blue have a lot of conflict throughout the game that ends in a smackdown where they learn more about each other, or Red having tragic daddy issues. It's all entertaining stuff, but at the risk of sounding greedy, I wanted more. I like the character development we do get, but White and Black never get to do anything cool beyond their introduction outside of utility and combat, and the game is skewed more towards red, blue, green, and pink for story purposes, while everyone else in the Wonderful 100 is just there for gameplay spectacle. Characters like Luca, a bratty child who joins the Wonderful 100 to avenge his mother, do provide more heart to the story, but I wish our heroes had more depth to them outside of their admittedly funny bits. I mean, anytime Wonder Red declared that diplomacy has failed with the villains, I had the biggest smile on my face. The narrative of the Wonderful 101 has a lot of cool and funny moments, but it's inches away from being even better and more resonant than it could have been. With that said, I've noticed a trend with a lot of Platinum games like Bayonetta and this, where the pieces are all there for an engaging story to supplement the spectacle, but the writing lacks any interest in fleshing it out. I mean, when I think of Platinum games and well-done stories, I usually think of their licensed titles based on pre-existing properties, like Metal Gear Rising, Transformers Devastation, and Nier Automata, instead of their original properties like Wonderful 101 or Bayonetta. In some ways, this apathy would grow and grow, probably thanks to Kamiya's publicly shown stubbornness, leading to the disastrous story of Bayonetta 3, but that's for another day. Hey, so as I was writing this video, Kamiya left Platinum Games, and now I don't know if what I said aged better or worse. Anyway, the point is, I wish Platinum took their writing for their games as seriously as their game design, because the studio has chops for something amazing in the narrative department, they just need to hone in on it. As for the actual game design of the Wonderful 101, it's an isometric beat-em-up where you use touch devices, or more conveniently the right analog stick, to draw shapes in order to form giant weapons made out of your wonderful squad. You can make fists, swords, guns, whips, and more. The weapons you form feel great, with all of them getting some kind of use throughout the adventure, but good combat is expected from a Platinum Games game. How about everything else? Well, the QuickTime events are very charming, even when you fail miserably at them. I heavily dislike the platforming sections of this game, especially with the beat-em-up style camera, which hates depth perception. But I do like the mini-games that break up the larger levels, especially the Punch-Out one. That was awesome. So despite the roadblocks, the Wonderful 101 is still quite exciting to play, especially when you get in the groove of the mayhem presented in each level. It's a fun game, it just feels short of a pure Platinum ranking for me due to some frustrating sections, but I'd be down to play it again, because I heard the New Game Plus runs makes the game even better. As is, the Wonderful 101 is near wonderful, just not the most wonderful.